The American manufacturing revival was supposed to be unstoppable until Nissan and Honda quietly proved otherwise. While Donald Trump ramped up tariffs and leaned into economic nationalism, these two Japanese automakers launched a silent exit strategy. No headlines, no press fights, just quiet factory closures, international supply chain shifts, and new trade alliances that left Trump's industrial campaign looking outdated. This was never just about imports, it was about influence. While Washington barked, Japan maneuvered. Nissan and Honda didn't challenge the system, they simply rewrote the rules and walked away. So how did they dodge Trump's tariffs without sparking outrage? Why are factory towns in red states fading while Japanese plants in Mexico are booming? And what happens when Made in America loses its grip on America's most loyal consumers? The rally that unraveled. The scene was familiar. Flags waving, red hats bobbing, and a packed arena in Akron, Ohio, a Trump stronghold. He was in full campaign mode until he veered off script. "We're not going to let Nissan and Honda take your jobs," Trump shouted. "They moved to Mexico? Fine, they'll pay the highest tariffs in history." The crowd clapped, but hesitated. Because while Trump was still speaking, fact-checkers were already online. Nissan's VP of Strategy quickly released a statement. The move had been in the works for months due to policy instability. Honda echoed the sentiment, calling U.S. production economically unsustainable under constant trade threats. It wasn't defiance, it was dispassionate business logic. But the real blow came from the silence in the room. Applause lagged, supporters glanced at their phones, clips of the awkward pause went viral. One TikTok captioned, "When the lie hits the Wi-Fi," racked up millions of views. Trump lost control of the moment and the narrative. Markets don't applaud overnight, Wall Street reacted. Trump's vague tariff threats spooked the auto sector. By market open, Ford dropped 5%, GM fell 4%. Suppliers like Magna and Lear lost up to 10% in a single session. This wasn't political panic, it was math. A 25% tariff on Japanese vehicles meant massive cost hikes in an already strained economy. Part suppliers braced for impact. CEOs held emergency calls. Union leaders issued statements begging for stability. Even the United Auto Workers, usually Trump-aligned, pushed back. "Tariffs without foresight don't protect workers. They punish them," one statement read. His economic arsenal was backfiring. Japan's long game. Long before Trump threatened tariffs, Japan had already built its escape routes. While the US withdrew from the TPP, Japan doubled down, securing access to low-tariff markets across Asia and Latin America. So when Nissan and Honda left, they didn't fall into chaos. They landed on infrastructure years in the making. In Mexico, Japan had spent over a decade developing ports, industrial zones, and trade incentives. Nissan's Southeast Asia supply chain was fully operational by 2016. Trump's threats came too late. Japan's strategy wasn't a reaction, it was a plan meant to outlast him. As one Tokyo analyst put it, Trump plays to the crowd, we play for the decade. The Rust Belt retrenchment. There were no dramatic announcements, just quiet notices buried in press releases. Nissan would scale back operations in Tennessee, Mississippi, and Ohio. In Smyrna, once the heart of Nissan's U.S. production, workers gathered outside the plant in disbelief. Generations of families had worked those lines. Now, temp workers were gone. Night shifts were cut, departments were shut down. In Mississippi and Ohio, suppliers reported halted orders. Communities built around these plants began to collapse, economically and emotionally. And while Nissan's exit left a visible scar, Honda's retreat was even quieter, and arguably more devastating. Honda's silent exit, no press conferences, no controversy, just construction sites in Mexico, Thailand, and Brazil. As Honda's footprint shrank in Ohio and Indiana, new facilities popped up in Celaya and El Salto. Battery assembly, vehicle production, export hubs, all scaled up fast. Meanwhile, logistics reports showed a telling shift. US-bound vehicles were now leaving from Mexican ports. No American headlines, no voter outrage. It was intentional. Honda had learned that silence was strategic. While Trump fought Ford on Twitter, Honda sidestepped the storm and walked away with cheaper labor, trade protections, and zero political blowback. When loyalty meets layoffs. By the time voters noticed what had happened, it was too late. Factories were closing. Towns were hollowing out. Local economies built on auto plants, gone. What Trump had promised would never happen on his watch had just happened again. And it wasn't just jobs that vanished. it was belief. The emotional fallout turned political. A crumbling base. By mid-2025, internal campaign polling showed Trump's support in Michigan, Ohio, and Pennsylvania plummeting. In Michigan, he fell below 40% approval, unthinkable in a state he once flipped. In factory towns across the Midwest, the question wasn't just where are the jobs, but who still believes. Nissan and Honda didn't just dodge tariffs. They exposed how fragile American industrial influence had become, and how quickly trust can evaporate when promises collapse under pressure.